Contact L&L Advisors today.
This is Trojan basketball on KINA.
Back here at the Sports Arena in Hutchinson, courtside, Devin Haney along with Tyler Smith as we get ready for Southeast of Saline Lady Trojan basketball. Here are your starting lineups for the number 4 seed and the 6th-ranked team in the state of Kansas, the Goodland Cowgirls. They will start Haley Biermann, 3 points, 3 assists per game. She's the leading assist getter for this Goodland team. Jaxie Michek comes into this game, 7.5 points per game, also 4 rebounds for the 5'9" sophomore. 6-foot junior Telexa Weeder, 17.5 points per game, also 5.5 rebounds, along with Lindsay Cure, 8 points, 6.5 rebounds. She's a 6-foot junior. Emma Lehman gets a point and 4 rebounds. She's a 5'11" senior. Goodland comes in, they're 21-2 overall, and they come out of the Greater Western Athletic Conference in a different time zone. Southeast of Saline comes in. They are under the direction of head coach Shauna Smith. They will start 3 seniors, led by Carson Schlesner, the 5'7" senior, averages 11 points per game, 5 rebounds and 3 assists. She has 1,230 points so far and ranks 3rd in Southeast of Saline school history. With her, Eleni Yanakopoulos, a 5'7" senior who averages 3.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, and an assist per game, along with Mallory Pearson, a 5'6" senior who averages 5 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist per contest. The lone junior in the starting lineup is the 5'7" Avery Castleman, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists per game, and the lone sophomore is 5'5" sophomore Maddie Harris, 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists per contest. Southeast is the 5 seed. They come in at 20-3. Tyler Smith, the floor is yours. Your new image audio keys to success here this afternoon for the Southeast of Saline Lady Trojans.
Devin, this afternoon Southeast Saline has to play the cleanest game they played this all season. We talk about their probably the best games they played is a win against Hutchinson in overtime and a loss against number 1 2A ranked Sterling Black Bears. You're going to have to see that kind of performance. What happened in those 2 games was great defense and hot outside shooting. We know there's going to be ebbs and flows of this basketball game. How do you handle the pressure? How do you handle just this awkwardness of a big gym, a state tournament game? It's going to go up and down. Handle your emotions and get down and dirty, and that's exactly what Shauna Smith wants her girls to do.
Goodland wins the tip. They are wearing white with black numerals trimmed in gold. They are the home team that sits to the right of the scorers table here at the Sports Arena as the 4 seed. Here's a steal, Mallory Pearson. Goodland looking to go the high-low entry amongst their post players. Pearson takes it away. Castleman in transition gets the quick 2, a 15-footer off the right-hand side by Avery Castleman, and Southeast of Saline leads it 2-0.
And that's exactly what you want if you're Southeast Saline. It's Mallory Pearson. We talk about day in and day out. She creates it on defense. Great to see Avery get off the hook early, especially with a nice 15-footer. We normally see her, settle for an outside shot early on. Nice to see her get to the, get a little bit in range and drill that shot. See the ball go in the hole.
Goodland turns it over again. Weeder throws a pass that goes off the foot of Haley Biermann. Interesting defensive approach here for Southeast of Saline. You mentioned the height inside for Goodland. They are not attending to Haley Biermann. The 5'5" sophomore was standing out on the right wing, all alone without any defensive pressure on her at all. Southeast has it back. They're going to cough it up. Goodland will take it back. Telexa Weeder has it. 1 turnover for Southeast of Saline, 2 for Goodland here in the early going. The Lady Trojans from SES lead it 2-0. Here's a 3-pointer, top of the key. That's no good for Goodland. And the rebound by Avery Castleman. Here comes Maddie Harris, accelerator on the floor. Runner in the paint. Off the board, won't go. Schlesner gets the rebound and curls her way back to the cup. Carson Schlesner for Southeast of Saline has 1,232 points after her first bucket.
And Devin, we're seeing the importance of transition, of running. Right now, if you let Goodland get in that 1-3-1, it's tough to get by. But if you can go and beat the 1-3-1 zone before it sets up, that's when you're going to have success.
Goodland misses another 3. Schlesner with another rebound. She dumps it off left-hand side to Castleman. Back and forth, the 2-play catch. Schlesner now for 3. Got it to go! Carson Schlesner and Southeast of Saline, they have come out guns a-blazing. They lead it 2 minutes into this contest, 7-0.
Devin, just a dream started for Southeast Saline. You've seen really, really solid defense. You're crashing the boards. That's the biggest thing. You're keeping Goodland off the offensive rebounds. You're making sure there's no second chance points, and you're converting on the offensive end. Just a dream start for Shauna Smith and her Trojans.
Jaxie Michek, the sophomore for Goodland, she shot a 3 last time down the floor, and she missed it. Now she doesn't have any defense on her. Goodland, though, goes inside. They miss another shot. Rebound southeast of Saline. Inside they go to Harris. Maddie turns around, and a sloppy play throws the ball out of bounds for the second turnover for southeast of Saline. Interesting to see here who southeast of Saline is picking and choosing to leave unattended at the three-point line.
Well, it's the exact same thing we talked about at Hutchinson. At Hutchinson, they literally left 2 players and just let them do whatever they wanted to offensively, and it was the right gamble for the Trojans. And tonight it's looking like it's the exact same thing. You're going to have to gamble with who you leave open, who you give open shots to, and crash on everyone else.
Substitution starting already on both sides. Olivia Lehman comes in. She's a 5'11 junior for Goodland, averages 8 points, 3.5 rebounds off the bench. For southeast of Saline, Brielle Patacik, and also Reagan Getz into the game. Getz inside, doing battle right now with Lindsey Cure, one of the big post players here for Goodland. Goodland penetrates the lane. Now they leave it back out to Lehman. Lehman works her way to the left-hand side of the basket, throws a shot up off the window, no good, and a rebounding foul will be called against Goodland. Brielle Patacik, smallest girl on the floor. She has some competition out there with Haley Biermann. Biermann is listed at 5'5", but Patacik got the rebound and the foul from the Goodland Cowgirls. And a 30-second timeout. Let's settle in here. We'll keep it right here. Lindsey Cure with the foul for the Goodland Cowgirls. That is our first foul of the contest. Just the way these games are played, we've seen it already. Maybe a couple of more fouls should have been called on Goodland, but southeast of Saline went through a sub-state that was very free and allowed to play through without fouls killing the game. They have been used to this now over the last 3+ games. They're ready for this.
Without a doubt, and I think we've seen southeast Saline most successful when there's maybe a looser whistle, when the whistle's not being blown as much and you're able to get out and play and defend and absorb contact and take contact. This is exactly the flow and the way that Southeast wants a game to be officiated. And they understand they're smaller, so they know they got to bang around down low. And you see right now with the dead ball, you're seeing this 1-3-1 set up from Goodland.
Goodland, a extended 1-3-1. They meet Schlesner out at the timeline. And Schlesner has a pass tipped. It's going to be taken away by Goodland. Here come the Cowgirls back up the floor. 3 turnovers for southeast of Saline, 2 for Goodland. They both average not only committing but also allowing about the same amount of turnovers per contest. There's a ball now that's tipped. It's on the floor. It's going to be picked up by Telexa Weeder. Weeder now will play it back out to Biermann. Biermann goes left-hand side to Michek. Michek looking in, and an offensive foul will be called inside, posting up on Olivia Lehman. Lehman, again, remember, came off the bench, and she commits the foul, trying to post up down low. It also ends up being a turnover for the Goodland Cowgirls, and they will give it back to southeast of Saline. Avery Castleman comes out. Lexi Jacobson into the game for the first time.
And Devin, you often think about what do coaches look at when they look at hours and hours of film, but it's things like that. It's like tendencies that you see a post player do. Where can you draw a charge when you see them hook you or see them trying to throw that elbow? And it's right there that Avery Castleman is right where Coach Smith wanted her to be, to draw that foul.
Here's Getz on the outside, kick out from Pearson. Reagan will take a dribble to her right. Defender goes flying by and missed the left foot jump shot on the left-hand side of the basket is what I'm trying to say. Lex Jackson falls down, and a shot put up and in by Emma Lehman is good. Goodland gets their first points of the game with 3:55 left to go in the first quarter. 7-2 our score. Down low, Jacobson has it. Weeder comes over to contend with her, and they're going to say that's a jump ball situation. Jacobson just really unsure what to do there as Telexa Weeder, 6-foot junior, came over to contend with her, and the jump ball arrow will keep the possession in favor of southeast of Saline. Maddie Harris quickly back into the game. She'll give Schlesner a break. Eleni Anakopoulos into the game. She'll give Pearson a break.
Yeah, it looked like right there Lexi just caught in a bad spot. She might have got away with the travel, but I don't know what I would do in that position. I mean, she had 2 6-footers, cornered her in, and that's just a spot where you kind of can't get the ball stuck into.
Haley Blocklinger into the game for the first time for Goodland. Here's Jacobson now driving on the left-hand side. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be awarded to southeast of Saline. Goodland will continue to play defense here underneath the Lady Trojans basket. 7-2 is our score. 3:37 left to play here. First quarter. Winner of this game will get the Silver Lake Eagles. The Lady Eagles in the first round took care of number 8 seed Cherryvale. Here's a stop and pop off the quick pass by Brielle Patacik. Her shot won't go down, and Goodland's going to bring it back the other way. Biermann with it, leaning on Patacik the whole way, and Brielle's going to get tagged with a foul, her first. First team foul against Southeast of Saline here in this game.
Yeah, nice little set play on the inbounds on the opposite baseline to get Brielle an open look. It was a quick look. She didn't have a lot of look. And then just called, she's getting back, playing defense, gets called for the block. Great call. Just Brielle trying to stay within the game.
Mechek on the inbounds, dumps it in to Haley Blocklinger. Blocklinger tried to come across the paint, was tripped up, and a foul will be called here against Southeast of Saline. Eleni Yanakopoulos will get her first foul of the contest.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about how Southeast Saline needed to, handle the ups and the downs. And, with the early ups, now it's to see how Goodland handles this. And it looks like they're settling back into the game. They're kind of getting more into their offense. Their defense is starting to turn Southeast over. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle this.
Here's a three-pointer by Haley Biermann, top of the circle. That's no good. Rebound, Lexi Jacobson. Long outlet to the left, Maddie Harris. In transition now up the left-hand sideline to Brielle Patacik. She tried to bounce it down low, going back to Jacobson, and that ball is going to be knocked out of bounds. Goodland once again deflecting the basketball, and Southeast will have inbounds opportunity once again.
And Devin, one of the fun things right now, you're seeing players dive all over the place. I mean, Goodland right there's a loose ball they tried to get diving on the floor. I mean, Goodland's a fun team to watch.
Eleni Yanakopoulos comes up empty on her left elbow jumper off the inbounds. Goodland has it back the other way. A lot of times in tournaments, especially that standard 18 bracket, you're going to see the 4 and 5 matchups be the most entertaining. They're the teams that are supposed to be the closest, right? That was not the case yesterday with Southeast of Saline's boys in Osage City. Southeast at one point in that game turned it in to just a free-for-all and had a 21-point lead as they were able to move on. We'll have more action from them coming up from the state tournament in the semifinals tomorrow. Now a traveling violation whistled here against Eleni Yanakopoulos. That is turnover number 4 for Southeast of Saline as Goodland gets it back. Still baseball-ish in the scoring, 7-2. Southeast of Saline, they scored the first 7 points of the afternoon. Carson Schlesner back into the game. Mallory Pearson also back in. Starters on the floor here for Southeast of Saline. Haley Biermann has it up top. It ends up going to the right-hand side to Lexa Weeder. Now on the drive, here's Mechek. She lost the ball. Yanakopoulos has it. Now Mechek with the foul, trying to reach in. That will be the first foul on Jaxie Mechek, the sophomore. As she came in and made things worse after turning the basketball over, she commits the foul. That's the third team foul on the Cowgirls from Goodland.
But again, you're seeing everybody dive on the floor. And right there's a loose ball. You saw Yanakopoulos go on the floor. You saw Mechek go on the floor. I mean, everyone's going after it. You see this 1-3-1 again. It's just creating a little bit of difficulty just getting into that offense. I mean, they're just so long. I mean, the Cowgirls are extremely long. That 1-3-1 extends all the way to half court. As you see Weeder kick the ball right there. Get a kick ball. It's going back to Southeast Saline.
Lindsey Cure, the 6-foot junior, she heads up this zone. Schlesner's going to blow right by her, get into the paint, right-handed layup, good! And Carson Schlesner is going to get the and-one opportunity. That time Mallory Pearson set in the soft spot between the point and the midline of that zone defense. The defense stayed with Pearson that time. Schlesner blew right by everybody and was able to draw the foul on Haley Biermann. The 5'5" point guard for Goodland plays the bottom side of that zone. So that's a good lesson there. Committed by Schlesner. If you can get by the big girls, the rim, there's no contest.
You're exactly right, and I think Shauna Smith has seen that as well. You're going to set that high screen and then let your guards go and just see what they can do down low. Great job from Schlesner.
Biermann has it now. Pearson on her defensively. 10-2 our score. Southeast of Saline leading Goodland. 1:37 left to play here in this first quarter. High post entry to Lindsey Cure. She squares up. Now Weeder for 3. Off the front of the rim, no good. Look at Pearson fighting for the rebound. Had a Goodland Cowgirl on her back. Was knocked to the court. The ball squirts out of bounds. The officials are going to award it to Southeast of Saline.
And we talked about that physical play, and Mallory Pearson wants all that physical play. She did a great job. I think a lot of times it's going to be called a foul on Goodland, but no foul called, no complaints. Ball goes Southeast Saline.
I like this officiating crew. I saw them work yesterday. It's almost equal opportunity, right? You know there maybe could have been a foul there, so when the ball goes out of bounds, give it to the team that probably should have been fouled.
Yes.
Here's Eleni Yanakopoulos now inside. She hits the bottom of the rim. The ball goes out of bounds on the baseline, and the officials are going to keep it with Southeast of Saline.
Sorry, I didn't know which way that ball was going there.
Maddie Harris will set the inbounds. Schlesner goes to the rim. Now everybody else fans out. It's going to be thrown all the way into the backcourt where Avery Castleman will have it.
And a great job from Avery understanding the rules of the game. I mean, she caught the basketball with her foot in the backcourt. She understood that's perfectly legal. A couple fans aren't aware of that rule, but a great job not to panic from the junior Castleman.
Good knowledge and composure by the player, good coaching by the staff that make their players aware of that. That's a play you see get blown all the time, and a definite parent complainer. There's Schlesner in the corner for three. Got the kick out. She's going to miss everything on that one, and the rebound taken in by Lindsey Cure. 43 seconds left to go in the quarter. Michek has it for Goodland. Back around to the other side. They end up on the left-hand wing with Weeder. And an offensive foul called against Goodland. I think we have a moving screen. Haley Biermann might have collected that foul. Let's see who gets called in at the table here. It is going to be Biermann, and for her, that will be number 2.
And every foul is huge against this Cowgirls team. I mean, they're extremely strong. Their starting 5 can do things. I mean, we've seen what they've done throughout the season, but they don't go extremely deep. And we know that's kind of what Southeast wants to do to every team. They bet their bench is better than your bench, and they want to get into it as quickly as possible.
10-2 is our score. 35.5 seconds left to go. Harris comes up the floor along with Schlesner. Carson Schlesner plays left as they overload the left-hand side. Castleman with a lob pass. That's a dangerous pass. Weeder should have had it. Went up for fingertips. Schlesner gets it back. Now Schlesner in a double team. She turns. It ends up through Castleman to Harris. Three-pointer in the cup. Maddie Harris gets a three-pointer, and it's 13-2, Southeast of Saline. 10 seconds left to go, first quarter. They get it into the hands of Lehman up top. Now to Weeder. Weeder wants it. 3 seconds left. She drives on Castleman. Avery's going to commit the foul. Good stop, though, there by Avery Castleman. She's not in foul trouble. That's just her first for Southeast of Saline. Only their third team foul, and that leaves 1.8 seconds for Goodland to run an inbounds play here.
Well, Devin, it's going to be interesting to see how long Goodland stays in this 1-3-1 zone. Like, we know that this is what they do.
A three-point play opportunity right at the buzzer with 1/10 of a second left. A quick lob and a touch by Olivia Lehman, and Lehman's going to go to the line. The foul called on Southeast of Saline.
Oh, and that's such a tough, just momentum shifter right there if you're Southeast Saline. You're playing such good half-court defense, and then the inbounds play, and that happens.
Harris guilty of the foul. It's her first, and the buzzer signifies the end of the first quarter. It's been a good start for the Southeast of Saline Lady Trojans. Even giving up 3 at the end of the quarter, they lead 13-5 as we go to second quarter action. You're listening to Southeast of Saline Lady Trojan basketball from the state tournament in Hutchinson, and it's presented by the Bennington State Bank.
To sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses acquire relief loans to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
Frisbee Construction is a service organization for the commercial grain industry dedicated to giving you the best in planning, the best in quality, and the best of workmanship, and overall the best value for your dollar since 1949. Frisbee Construction specializes in new construction as well as remodel and repair of grain handling facilities throughout the Midwest. Frisbee Construction Company in Gypsum has emergency crews available as needed. For more information, go to frisbeeinc.com.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Hoops on KINA.
Back here at the Sports Arena in Hutchinson, Devin Haney along with Tyler Smith as we are watching state basketball action featuring the Southeast of Saline Lady Trojans, 13-5. Southeast, the 5 seed right now with an early advantage over the 4-seeded Goodland Cowgirls. Here's the Cowgirls dumping it off inside. Now a mini drive towards the baseline by Emma Lehman. Lehman now will go back to the elbow to Lindsey Cure, and they work it back out beyond the perimeter. Lob pass back inside to Lehman. Lehman in a double team, rises up. She traveled with the basketball. 7 turnovers for the Goodland Cowgirls as we start the second quarter with another Southeast of Saline stop. Defense and just kind of creating that chaos on the defensive end for Southeast. So far, things look good.
Yeah, Devin, we've talked about how this might be the toughest matchup, just because of their length, of any team here. But it gave Coach Shauna Smith and her staff the most time to prepare. And I think that's one thing we talked about. A lot of contact right there, just players diving everywhere.
Weeder comes up with it, ends up being a turnover for Southeast of Saline, but a huge reaching foul that went uncalled there against Goodland's defense. And now Mallory Pearson rips the rebound out between two Cowgirls off another Goodland miss.
But sorry, Devin, to go back to that point before that, this is the team you want to prepare for. I mean, this is the team, you have so much post play, there's so many big players. You're just seeing, you're seeing the defense, the chemistry down low. They're trading off players, their help side defense. Everyone's there where they need to be early on.
You almost play this extended 1-3-1 of Goodland's defense because you're relying on the other team to not have that many ball handlers, right? Well, Southeast has that many ball handlers. And right now, they are just making those girls up top on that 1-3-1. A couple of 6-footers work extremely hard on defense.
Yeah, you're right. Nobody's panicking, and you're able to move that 1-3-1 from side to side. It can't just sit there and, oh, nice stroke.
Here's Weeder for three. We got a good look at that one as Telexa Weeder, the leading scorer on this Goodland Cowgirl squad, hits a three-pointer right in front of us from the right-hand side. 13-8 now our score. Goodland has scored the last 6 points. Southeast of Saline with it. Again, a lot of defensive pressure and some contact in this 1-3-1 zone. Harris and Schlesner handling it up top. Now Haley Biermann goes diving after a ball, knocks it out of bounds. It will stay with Southeast of Saline on the sideline. Brielle Patacik comes into the game, along with Elena Yanakopoulos. Also, Reagan Getz. Elena was already in there. She's going to stay. Reagan Getz, though, will check in.
And Biermann's on that back end, like the 1-3-1, like you said, it's almost like a free safety. I mean, she sees the ball loose. I mean, her instincts go, and we've seen her a couple times diving after loose ball. Just a great nose for the basketball from Biermann.
Everything beyond the perimeter right now for Southeast of Saline. They're having trouble getting the ball inside. They've scored on a couple of Schlesner drives and also a three-pointer from the outside. 2 of them, one hit by Schlesner, one by Maddie Harris. Here's Carson, NBA-style three. That's going to go off the back of the rim, and the rebound taken in by Haley Blocklinger, one of the Blocklinger twins on this Goodland team. Goodland has it back now, working through their offense. Weeder wants a three from where she just hit one. That one's weak and no good. Came off the front of the rim and a long bounce out to Reagan Getz, who was guarding and then blocking out the shooter. Reagan across the timeline. Little stutter step. She'll play it to Schlesner. Now to Brielle Patacik. Patacik looking at her defender. It's a man-to-man defense this time by Goodland. Southeast needs to recognize now Goodland switching out on defenses. Here's a little run and jump. Pearson kicks it out. Patacik for three. Off the rim, no good. Battle for the rebound is going to be won down low by Haley Blocklinger. Here come the Cowgirls back the other way. I think both teams are very comfortable playing at this high pace. Here's Biermann for three, left-hand side. That's no good. Patacik's going to save it. Numbers for Goodland. Weeder with an open three. No good. And a rebounding foul will be called against Haley Blocklinger. Boy, this sophomore, Haley Blocklinger, 5'9", she's very, very active on both ends for the Goodland Cowgirls.
Yeah, all over the place. And you're seeing Goodland just crashes the board so hard. I mean, you're seeing on both sides there's not a rebound they don't think they can get. But Southeast Saline right now, they're doing a really good job of limiting second chance points. If you can limit second chance points, because you anticipate you're not going to get a lot of second chance opportunities. There's not going to be a lot of offensive rebounds for Southeast Saline. So you've got to do the exact same thing to Goodland and erase any second chance opportunities for them on the other side and see what you can do.
Yanakopoulos, Schlesner, and Castleman all check out. Harris, Jacobson, Pearson back in for Southeast of Saline. Goodland goes back to that 1-3-1. Patacik up top, fancy ball handling. Now she passes to Harris. And Brielle Patacik here gets caught moving both of her feet at the same time, and it's going to be a traveling violation. Brielle had the right idea. I don't think if she knew if she's going to go left or right, and both feet kind of reflected that.
Yeah, and it's almost like a baseball player with every at-bat. You just want to understand and learn from every single possession, every single pitch that's thrown to you. Brielle will learn from that. I mean, she's a good enough player. That's exactly what you need to happen.
They are leaving Hayden Blocklinger wide open here on the right wing, and she misses the three. Rebound, Reagan Getz on the opposite side. Halfway through the second quarter. Southeast still looking for their first points in the quarter. Now Getz turns it over. Turnover number 7. We are even in that category. Goodland has it, going back the other way. Transition three, too strong, no good. Jacobson had it go off her right hand, and then a hustle towards the rebound by 2 Southeast players, and they cannot get there before it goes out of bounds. It will stay with the Goodland Cowgirls and be inbounded by Emma Lehman right in front of us. Telexa Weeder back into the game. She was out maybe long enough to taste the water she had, and now she is back into action. Also with her, Haley Biermann. 3:48 left to go. Carson Schlesner also re-enters herself to the contest. Man-to-man defense being played here by Southeast of Saline. Ball on the floor. Pearson there with it as she ties up Telexa Weeder, and the arrow will go to Southeast of Saline.
And you're seeing it all. You've seen it the entire season. But if you're new to the Southeast Saline team, Mallory Pearson she controls everything on the defensive side, and she's doing it again tonight.
30-second timeout. We'll step away. 13-8. Southeast of Saline leads it by 5. 3:40 left to play here in the second quarter on KINA.
Saline Septic Services provides septic services including septic tank installation, inspection, and repair. In addition to professional septic tank services, we also provide portable restroom rentals. We have many options available, including his and hers portable restrooms and hand washing sinks. Setup, service, and removal are all part of our rentals. Whether you project a long-term construction job or a family gathering, we guarantee a clean porta potty. Find us today at SalinaSepticService.com, proudly supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline basketball on KINA.
Back here at the state tournament in Hutchinson. A jump ball on the baseline. One of the officials saying this is Goodland's ball. I disagree. The arrow at the table says Southeast of Saline ball. Goodland started the second quarter with the basketball, and then the arrow flips, and we haven't had a dual possession since then, so they get it worked out. Southeast of Saline will have the basketball here. Still looking for their first points of the second quarter, but they've only given up 3. And that big lead they built early on of 11 points paying off here as they've hit a drought in the second quarter, and now a steal up top. Lindsey Cure, she takes away a pass. Boy, she is disruptive, isn't she? 6-foot junior at the top of that big extended 1-3-1.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of early success from Southeast Saline come in transition. That's the one thing we haven't seen yet in this quarter is getting the ball, getting rebounds, and rolling.
Haley Biermann, she's left alone again, and this time she hits the 3. The 5'5" sophomore puts the second three-pointer in the cup for the Goodland Cowgirls, and they were within 2. Jacobson underneath, hanging, shooting, and scoring. Lexi Jacobson, the sophomore that time, had to score over the top of the 6-foot junior, Telexa Weeder.
What a finish.
Big basket for Southeast.
What a finish from Jacobson. She jumped. She had no idea Weeder was there and then just hung a little bit longer than Weeder. Just an explosive play from the sophomore that we've just grown too accustomed to seeing.
Southeast has their first bucket in the second quarter. Now a drive to the basket. A foul will be called. That will send Lindsey Cure to the free throw line. These will be our first free throws of the second quarter. And for Southeast of Saline, their 5th team foul. The foul will go against Mallory Pearson. It is her first, and that is the positive thing for Southeast of Saline. All 5 of their team fouls, they've scattered amongst 5 different players. Free throw up off the heel, no good by Lindsey Cure. Cure has not scored in this game, as well as she's played on defense. So far she is empty on the offensive end. She'll get a second chance here. She was fouled in the act of shooting. 15-11 is our score, pending this free throw. Cure's second free throw in the cup, that's good. She has her first point of the afternoon. Still a one-possession game here, 15-12. 2.5 minutes left to go, second quarter. Reagan Getz has it on the right side. Here comes the trap. Reagan had it deflected, and the coach, Bill Biermann, saying Reagan Getz stepped out right in front of his bench. The official did not see it that way, and he's going to keep it with Southeast of Saline. You're on a timer, right? When you get the ball in the corners, any corner against a 1-3-1 zone, that trap is coming.
Yeah, you have a second to figure out what you're going to do with it, because if you hold it any longer than that, you've got a lot of length and a lot of arms and a lot of legs coming right at you, and that's something you got to realize early if you're Reagan Getz in that position. And
Tyler, there's so much gray areas. Alexi Jacobson gets whistled for a traveling violation. There's so much gray area because you want the trap to come to you. You just don't want to be in it. You want to make those girls run defensively, but you just don't want them to get too far settled in.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You want to catch the basketball knowing where the next pass is going. That was a catch that Reagan got. It was kind of out of, I don't want to say desperation, but it wasn't part of the offensive set for Southeast. She caught it. She was in trouble, and then it led to, the ball going out of bounds.
Full court pressure this time by Southeast of Saline. Cure will get it into Michek, and then she will get it back. Cure will bring it up, now play it to Michek on the right-hand side. Michek trying to get rid of it as quickly as she can. She'll go back to Cure, top of the circle. Now to Haley Biermann. Biermann, the coach's daughter, running the point spot here, the 5'5" sophomore. Weeder with it. She goes by Schlesner. Schlesner slipped, now recovers with the help of Lexi Jacobson. Telexa Weeder nearly lost the basketball into the backcourt. Now she'll get it back. They'll go inside, deep post entry, and a shot that is up and good. A very tough shot that time by Emma Lehman, and Lehman has 4.
Yeah, great catch from Lehman. She had Mallory Pearson all over. A really good finish from Lehman.
Schlesner into the corner. Castleman goes to Pearson. Pearson crowded that time with Lexi Jacobson in the area. Jacobson quickly got out of the way, but Pearson missed the shot along the baseline. 90 seconds left to play, second quarter. Southeast of Saline now playing defense, trying to protect this 1-point lead. They've led the whole way. Weeder for 3 off the side of the rim, and it's going to squirt out of bounds over in the corner on the right-hand side of that Goodland offense. Southeast will get it back.
And you see Coach Biermann just looking at Weeder, looking at a star, just saying, slow down, slow down. I mean, I think Weeder feels like she wants to get involved more and more. I mean, she's getting open looks from 25 plus. She's not getting anything else from anywhere. So when she sees that, anytime she's open, she wants to pull the trigger.
Pick and roll in the middle of the zone between Schlesner and Pearson. Mallory comes up and can't get that one to go either. We don't really see Mallory Pearson miss 2 shots in a row very often, but she did on the last 2 trips.
But I think that's something you keep going to. You keep running that high screen with Mallory against that 1-3-1, and you just roll her and you slip her. You'll give her 10-footers all day.
Biermann wants another 3, left wide open. She's going to splash it home. Biermann starting to heat up as she has given Goodland their first lead of the game, 17-15. Harris with it up top now, being chased by Lindsey Cure. Cure's quickness is impressing me, man. She is staying right with these Southeast guards. And now a ball batted out of bounds. It will stay with Southeast on the other sideline, right by the Goodland bench. 39 seconds left to go. Stick with us at halftime. We'll catch you up on what happened here at the state tournament yesterday, and also tell you what's going to happen tomorrow involving Southeast of Saline. 39 seconds left to play here. Schlesner will be the inbounder. She has Harris to her left. And now Castleman along the baseline. Little give and go here. Castleman bounced it right back to Schlesner. Schlesner fishes it out. It was a struggle, and she got it to Yannikopoulos. Out to Castleman for 3. Long 3! Avery Castleman just drilled from long distance. Southeast out by 1. 22 seconds left to go, second quarter. Michek to the right-hand elbow area. Now she pulls it out, swings it to Cure. Now into the hands of Hayden Blocklinger. Back to Michek. She goes to the left elbow this time. Now to Blocklinger. Clock down to 8. Those two playing catch, and now Maddie Harris is going to disrupt their passing party. Over to Weeder. Weeder wants it at the end of the clock. Fade away along the baseline. And a shot that is coming up, missing badly, and we are at halftime. What a first half of basketball. Southeast of Saline leads it 18-17 as we go to the break. And it's brought to you by Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. When we come back, stats from the first half. Also fill you in on tournament information from the sports arena here in Hutchinson. And, of course, get you ready for the pending third quarter. 18-17 is our score. Southeast of Saline leads it by 1. The Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report begins now here on KINA.
Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knopf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knopf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
And the second free throw is good. The Trojans have called timeout to make some important decisions.
Hi, fans. It's Winnell Garrettson from SalinaHomes.com. In every game, there are lots of options to make the right play. And in real estate, the plays can be challenging. Whether you're a first-time buyer, upsizing for the family, investing in rentals or commercial property, or selling land, I have the knowledge to help you win your real estate game. It's sure to be a slam dunk when I serve as your realtor. Buy or sell, call Winnell.
You're telling me your driver turns you on remotely?
It feels so good. One gentle touch of a handy remote or mobile app and my motor's running. And don't fret, my little pickup pal. New Image Audio installs these inside trucks too.
Oh, yeah.
You'll want it when the winter chill hits. A remote start from New Image Audio for cars, trucks, even diesels. All systems remote and cell phone capable. Nationwide coverage. Get yours at New Image Audio on South Broadway.
In Salina.
Maybe you don't play quarterback or make the highlight reel. Maybe you're not a high school athlete anymore. But just like an athlete, you can get first-class orthopedic care from Salina Ortho. Their doctors and staff strive to get you back to an injury-free, pain-free life as quickly as possible. Saline Ortho has a doctor on call 24/7 for all orthopedic injuries. So next time you're injured, trust the experts at Saline Ortho. Your voice, your choice, past, present, and future. See them online at salineortho.com.
Can-Equip's Service Advantage Preseason Readiness Optimization Program is going on now. Get the best prices of the year on inspections, plus 12-month parts warranties, special financing backed by genuine Case IH parts, and instant rebates on lubricant and filter purchases. Go to canequip.com and click on the Service Advantage banner to see all the savings, or visit them at Can-Equip in Salina. Terms and conditions apply.
Can-Equip you.
The Southeast of Saline School District has a long-standing reputation for excellence. This excellence in public education has been a source of great pride and one of the factors contributing to the quality of life in our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation works in partnership with the USD 306 School District and the community that it serves to maximize student potential, thereby creating a lasting legacy, not only for our children, but for our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation salutes the Trojans sports program.
This is the Trojan Halftime Report. Coming up, a first half recap. Shot at the horn. Stats, interviews, and a look at other area games. Now, let's get back to the gym for Trojan Halftime on KINA.
Back here at the intermission, brought to you by Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Southeast of Saline leads Goodland 18-17 at the break. It was really a tale of two different second quarters, first quarter and second quarter. Southeast won the first quarter 13-5. Goodland won the second quarter 12-5. So you put all that together, you have our halftime score of 18-17, Southeast of Saline. Scoring from the first half looks like this. Leading all scorers, Carson Schlesner. She has 8 points. She scored all of those in the first quarter of play. 5 points for Avery Castleman, 3 points for Maddie Harris, 2 points for Lexi Jacobson. For the Goodland Cowgirls, 6 points for Haley Biermann. She had 2 of those second quarter three-pointers. 4 points for Emma Lehman, 3 points for Telexa Weeder, 3 points for Olivia Lehman, and 1 point for Lindsay Cure. Free throw shooting, not a lot of free throws to talk about so far in this game. 1 of 1 for Southeast of Saline, 2 of 3 for the Goodland Cowgirls. 8 turnovers on each side by Southeast of Saline and by Goodland here in this game. The winner of this game will get the Silver Lake Eagles, the number 1 seed in the tournament with 1 loss on the year. They came in at 22-1. They won over Cherryville earlier today, 63-33. Other games going on today here at the Sports Arena in Hutchinson. The 6 o'clock game is Nickerson and Frontenac. That's your 2-7 matchup, with Nickerson being the 2. They have a very special player in Ava Jones, who is committed to Arizona State, and she is still a sophomore. Hugoton, the number 3 seed. They will play Santa Fe Trail, who is a 6 seed in our nightcap at 8 o'clock. Halftime, 18-17. We'll take a 2-minute break. When we come back, get you ready for third quarter action. Southeast of Saline leads it by 1 on the Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories Halftime Report.
Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knopf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knopf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses acquire relief loans to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
A shield against the elements. Comfort in the midst of chaos. Shelter in the aftermath of destruction. For 75 years, Shelter Insurance has remained true to our promise to be there when you need us most. This is the heartbeat of our company, our why. Shelter Insurance. For your auto, home, and life.
See me, Kelly Kitchener, at our brand new location, 1809 South Ohio in Salina.
Troublesome car repair and everyone has told you it cannot be fixed or it's way too expensive? Try McKim Auto Service in Gypsum, Kansas. They do quick, dependable work and provide the lowest hourly rate in the area. McKim Auto will service your vehicle from front to back and everything in between. They treat you and your car like a friend or even family. McKim Service specializes in engine and transmission rebuilds. 701 Maple, Gypsum, Kansas. Wouldn't trust anyone else with my family car. So, if your repair seems grim, remember McKim. Give them a call today to make your appointment.
Work hard, play hard. Good luck, Trojans, from Roselawn Memorial Park in Salina. To learn more, visit roselawnsalina.com.
Back here at the Sports Arena in Hutchinson, Devin Haney along with Tyler Smith. 18-17 is our score as we are getting ready for third quarter action. The Southeast of Saline boys won yesterday. An exciting time for the Trojans of Southeast of Saline. They were able to win their first round game against the Osage City Indians 62-53. Eli Sawyers with 22, Luke Gebhardt with 13, all in the second quarter, and Akari Moracle-Palmer with 12. The Trojans will play tomorrow at 2 o'clock against Royal Valley from Hoyt. Here it's 18-17. Southeast of Saline leading by 1. And again, just those quarters were a tale of two extremely different stories. Southeast of Saline won the first quarter 13-5. Goodland wins the second quarter 12-5. Each team has the same amount of turnovers. The zone for Goodland has been disruptive, but a couple of things that Southeast of Saline has done really well here, Tyler, in this game is they have been able to limit Goodland on shooting opportunities. Goodland is only shooting 27% in this game, but Southeast has only given up 3 offensive rebounds and given them second chances to score. Southeast, meanwhile, they just need to get more shots up. They're shooting almost 40% in this game. They just have less chances because they've had some turnovers here and there at timely opportunities and haven't got as many shots up.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what changes were made at halftime to handle that 1-3-1. I think it's a lot of times you can see a 1-3-1 on film. You can tell your players all about a 1-3-1, and then you come out and you see it, and it's got these absolute monsters. We've talked about Lindsey Cure all night. I mean, she's at the top of that zone. I mean, think of her as almost a Mallory Pearson. I mean, right now, when I say that, I mean right now she's only scored 1 point, but she is dictating so much of the success of Goodland. But it's nice to see now you're within. I mean, you have a 1 point lead. Now what adjustments do you make against that 1-3-1 zone? And it'll be interesting to see what Coach Smith drew up in the locker room.
I always told my players coaching that a 1-3-1 is the easiest defense in the world to beat. It's just so easy to take apart unless you have the personnel like Goodland has.
Right.
And some of those good Baylor teams, and it's still going on.
Yeah.
They have athletes like that, long NBA type style bodies, and they can play a 1-3-1 very, very effectively. You get those arms out, and that's the key, is the arms in the passing lanes, and all of a sudden your passing lane goes from a window of about 3 feet to a window of about 6 inches, and then you have trouble moving the ball and getting into your offense. And the way that Goodland is playing theirs, it's a half-court defense. It's not around the perimeter. They are defending everything once you cross half court. Yeah. Cowgirls will start out with the ball.
Yeah, they do a great job. They cover that entire half court, and that's what's going to be interesting to see. How do you get the ball down to the paint? Avery
Castleman stole the ball away that was intended inside for Emma Lehman. Here comes Southeast of Saline. Back the other way. 9 turnovers for Goodland. 18-17 our score. It's a man-to-man now for Goodland. A little give and go, and a blocking foul is Carson Schlesner. I don't know if you noticed this, and I'm going to tell the folks at home. Schlesner passed it out to the lane, coming through on the cut. When she caught the ball and turned and saw the defender, she went from 2 hands on the ball to going up with her left hand. That was the difference, going left and right of making that layup and not making that layup. Free throw on the way is good. Schlesner has 11.
Well, and what a quick recognition from Southeast Saline to notice that Goodland was in man-to-man defense right away. There was no hesitation. It was that give and go, and like you said, just a fantastic finish from Carson Schlesner.
Meanwhile, Haley Biermann on that foul is her 3rd. She has hit 2 3-pointers in this game. Here's a backside 3 now by Goodland, and that's going to be good. Jaxie Michek getting her first basket of the game, and it's a 3 on the left-hand side. Back to a 1-point lead. Now Michek on the steal. Schlesner with a bounce pass over to the right wing. It was stolen away by Michek. High post now to Cure. Cure turns. She's going to pass it back out to Michek. Maddie Harris not overly concerned about Micek out there, gives her a lot of room. Now the ball works around to the other way. Leading scorer, Telexa Weeder has it. 17-point-per-game average plus on the season. She was held to just single digits in that first half at halftime with 3. Here's a shot put up by Goodland. That's no good. And now Lindsey Cure, she did the old rope-a-dope, didn't she? She came back like she was blind on defense and then all of a sudden turned and came back to Maddie Harris and knocked the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, extremely crafty play, but Maddie Harris is strong enough to handle that blow, and right now she's getting ready to inbound the ball right in front of us.
Back to the 1-3-1, or the Cowgirls. Schlesner for 3. Can't get it to go, missing left. Goodland will have the rebound. 6:29 left to play. We're just underway. Second half. They go inside to Cure. Bobbled the basketball. Now plays it out, but it's taken by Avery Castleman. Castleman with 2 steals here in this first couple of minutes of the second half. Now a ball that's knocked out of bounds again by Goodland. How many passes has Goodland knocked out of bounds and just hasn't been able to take?
Well, Devin, I think you said it best. And for younger viewers or whatever viewers that know Baylor's, kind of runs, not what they did last year, but kind of before they started playing a lot of man-to-man. They ran a lot of zone. It was long, rangy defenders, and this is exactly what Goodland does. I mean, they cause so much havoc without ever coming into the backcourt. I mean, it's a half-court 1-3-1, and they're not looking to trap at all times. They're just looking to extend you, and now they're in a man-to-man, and it kind of makes them run around a little bit more, and I think this is what Southeast Saline wants, but that 1-3-1 is ferocious.
There's Harris with it. Try to get into the paint. Roll it off her foot. Turnover for Southeast of Saline. Each team now with 10 turnovers. Goodland has it back, trailing by 1. Top of the circle with the ball, Olivia Lehman.
There you go.
She gave it off to Lexa Weeder, and Weeder's going to travel with it, giving it back to Southeast. When you look at the body of work through the regular season for these two teams, Goodland had a couple of different common opponents with Southeast of Saline. They lost to Hugoton. That was their first loss of the season, 42-38 in overtime. Southeast beat Hugoton in the Sterling tournament in overtime. So that right there, we know those 3 teams here at the state tournament are very, very even. But also, when you look at common opponents, Goodland just beat the shorts off of Beloit.
They did. 52-13 or 52-15, somewhere around there. But it also took a Mike and Hamlin last-second buzzer beater fadeaway 25-footer from Hugoton to beat Goodland.
Avery Castleman has a 3-pointer in the far corner, the left-hand side of the Southeast of Saline offense. Lindsey Cure went out of the game. Now she's back in there, and she'll draw the foul. Free throws coming up for Lindsey Cure. Nobody in that first half for Southeast of Saline accumulated more than 1 foul. This foul on Avery Castleman will be her second.
Well, Devin, we see it all the time. You see the great coverage now that all the state tournaments get. Sports in Kansas did a fantastic job covering every single team as Cure misses the first one. The players read this stuff, and they understand that Goodland's got absolute guns, and they look at the body of work, and they know what's going on here. But I think as the longer this game goes and Southeast stays in it, they realize they're not the underdog. I think at times you read that, they read that, this team beat the shorts off of she missed the second, beat the shorts off of Beloit, and you look at the body of work against Beloit, but the Southeast Saline team belongs, and I think the longer they stay in this, the longer they know that, the more dangerous they get.
A high pass for Schlesner. She tried to go in the paint to Reagan Getz. Reagan couldn't handle it, and it's the 3rd turnover of the second half for Southeast of Saline. 3 minutes have gone by. Southeast of Saline leads it by 4, 24-20. We also really expected a low-scoring game, which I think we're getting here in this contest. We know how good the Lady Trojans defense is. Meanwhile, Goodland also very good on defense. They come in on an 8-game winning streak. They had 1 game where they allowed 40, another game where they allowed 32. The other 6 games were all under 30, and there are a couple of single digits that they allowed in there.
Yeah, and you can see why. You can just see the length of the zone. If you don't have a couple guards that can handle pressure, you're in a lot of trouble. It looks like they got Schlesner down low in the paint with a hold. I mean, Schlesner is just battling right now with Olivia Lehman. I mean, it's a great matchup down there. Schlesner's just going toe-to-toe with the post player from Goodland.
Castleman and Maddie Harris out of the game. Schlesner disrupts the inbounds, and Reagan Getz is going to pick it up. Reagan got the deflection there that was caused by Schlesner. Brielle Patacik is into the game. Now Schlesner in the paint, kick out Brielle, 3-pointer, good. Brielle Patacik, she's been a deadly assassin, almost a hired hidden gun all season long for the Lady Trojans, and she gets one from the left wing. 7-point Southeast lead.
Oh, nice, really nice entry pass right there, and a great finish from Olivia Lehman. You saw the help side defense come from Pearson. She was in position, but Lehman did a great job just elevating over the defense, elevating over Pearson to finishing.
Lehman has 5. Now a short bounce pass, a curl around here by Schlesner. She was able to get Lindsey Kier to commit to her and then curled it around, dumped it off for Pearson. Kier turns around to try to recover, and she fouls.
I mean, you're seeing players just, they're giving up their bodies or grabbing knees where this is state playoff basketball. These are just two teams going blow after blow. It's fun to watch. 4
of the 5 Goodland girls during this stoppage in play have their hands on their hips, and they are looking for oxygen. They are winded right now, Tyler, and when I look at the benches, at what point does it start to have a reflection upon this game? Lexi Jacobson gets caught with a traveling violation. Because you see, Southeast of Saline, talk about their conditioning. They're in very good shape. They go 3 people off the bench. So far, Goodland just used their 3rd player off the bench. They have been playing primarily 7 most of the day. 27-22. Here's a lob pass inside, taken away by Brielle Patacik. Brielle brings it back up the floor. Kier with her. Now to Maddie Harris. Harris on the right-hand side. Dances with a defender. Patacik will come over to trailer, and the ball knocked out of bounds by Lindsey Kier.
There's not an easy pass, and from both teams. If you wanna watch a game and why you want an offensive player to break a defender down and establish their offensive position, watch this game. Both teams just are playing such great defense. The ball is so sacred to both offensive teams. It's just great to see this.
Schlesner has the basketball. Carson brings it up top, and now Goodland has switched. They take Lindsey Kier out of the game again, but they stay in that 1-3-1. Up top now is Haley Blocklinger. And another ball slapped out of bounds. This one by Telexa Weeder. And it will be right at the Southeast of Saline bench where the Lady Trojans will inbound it right in front of assistant Steve Reedy. Steve's always talking to the officials. You know that? The officials talk to him too.
I think after a 40-year career that Steve's had, he knows about everybody or their kids or somebody, so he's always talking to them.
Here's Reagan Getz inside, driving and scoring on the left-hand side of the basket. Reagan's had an uncomfortable, rough start to this game. It's good to see her get that basket. I'm sure that'll make things easier for her.
Well, I know that's something they want to do. You want to get somebody on that high post right there that can drive to the basket. As you see a nice entry pass, and Getz is called to the foul. Right there, a pass to Emma Lehman. I mean, she's just battling all kinds of contact, and Getz is called for the foul.
Again, with 2:51 left to play here in the third, foul's not an issue. That's just Reagan Getz' first personal foul, 3rd team foul for Southeast of Saline, and 2nd are 2 team fouls for Goodland. Now a foul on the inbounds here whistled against Southeast of Saline, and all of a sudden, Reagan Getz has 2. Reagan's in there being physical, though. I get it. Like, she is in there battling for life and limb. I get it. She's doing a good job. I'm okay with this. 14 fouls for Southeast now. Under 3 minutes left to go as we approach the 2.5-minute mark in the third quarter. Southeast has given up 5 points here in this third quarter. They lead it by 7. Here's a three-pointer put up by Biermann. That's no good. An offensive rebound collected by Jaxie Michek, and Michek is fouled. She'll go to the free throw line. That's something we talked about at halftime. Southeast didn't do a ton of in the first half, and that was give up offensive rebounds.
Yeah, and the second chance opportunities are so tough, because that's what happens. Not only do you get the second chance opportunity, obviously it's a chance to get another shot up, but right there we see Michek hit the first free throw. But then you have to commit a foul. I mean it's a rebound, and any good offensive rebounding team knows to go right back up with the basketball, as Michek did right there, and she's rewarded not only 2 free throws, but now it's the 5th team foul in Southeast Saline.
Key point here in the third quarter with 2:36 left to go. Schlesner checks out. Also, Lindsey Kier comes into the game for Goodland. It's 2 free throws made by Jaxie Michek. She has 5 points for Goodland, all here in this third quarter. 29-24 is our score. 2:36 left to play in the third. Southeast can go on and win this game. It'll be a fun day in Hutchinson tomorrow. The boys would play at 2. The girls would follow them up at 4 o'clock in 2 semifinal games. Maddie Harris, Brielle Patacik up top, working against this 1-3-1 zone defense. High post entry to Jacobson. Lexi bobbled it, got it back. Now to Getz. Getz lost the ball. It's going to be picked up over there in the corner by Castleman. Castleman bowls it back to the free throw line, and now a foul will be called on Brielle Patacik. Brielle tripped up Jaxie Michek that time, and I don't know if Brielle realizes it or not, but that's a pretty good foul because Goodland would have had numbers running out the other way.
Yeah, they were definitely exploding out on the offensive side for transition, and Brielle just went to the floor, and anytime you go to the floor, it's usually a good thing. Rarely does a bad thing happen if you're making a hustle play right there, and right there Brielle did it, and now it kind of gives Southeast Saline a chance to reset as you get all three seniors back in the game.
Now in the last 30 seconds, Southeast of Saline has committed 4 fouls. Nobody's in foul trouble yet, but they have 16 fouls. And Goodland will be in the bonus from here on out. 2:05 left to go, third quarter. Pearson and Schlesner back into the game. They're in there with Yannikopoulos, Castleman, and Maddie Harris. Here's Weeder for 3. Off the front of the rim, no good. Battle for the rebound. Goodland had it. Mallory Pearson takes it. Here comes Schlesner up the floor. Harris crosses over Michek, gets to the free throw line, shovels it off to Pearson. Now to Schlesner. She step backs for 3. Gets it to go. Carson Schlesner hits another 3. She looks fantastic in this game, Tyler.
Yeah, but the fight that she had to make to even make the defensive rebound, even get a hand on it, was unbelievable. And she's just coming down. I mean, we talk about this all the time, the different roles that Carson's played throughout her career at Southeast Saline. Right there, she takes a foul because she's playing so physical, and she draws the foul. I believe that's on Olivia Lehman. But we talk about the progression and the different game that Carson Schlesner plays, and tonight she understands it's going to take a special offensive performance to keep her Trojans in it.
Third team foul for Goodland, third foul for Lindsey Cure, and a timeout called, a 30-second timeout. We will take it. 1:25 left to go here in the third quarter. Southeast leads it by 8 on KINA.
PRP, or platelet-rich plasma injection therapy, has received quite a bit of attention since its use by many professional athletes. Professional football players like Peyton Manning and Jamal Charles have used PRP therapy for sports injuries and to avoid surgery. But you don't have to be a world-class athlete with millions of dollars for this cutting-edge therapy. PRP is available to you in the Saline Pain Clinic. Call the doctors for a consultation and see if this treatment is right for you. See them at 200 South 5th in the Saline Surgical Arts Center.
Back here at the Sports Arena in Hutchinson, Devin Haney, Tyler Smith, Southeast of Saline, leading 32-24. 1:25 left to go here in the third quarter of play. Southeast has the basketball after the 5th turnover by Goodland here in this game. Lindsey Cure got her 3rd personal foul. That's a big one, could be a big one potentially, because she heads up the point of this zone. And a traveling violation issued to Maddie Harris.
And you're wondering, you've seen that a couple times in the 1-3-1. It makes you move a little bit quicker. All of a sudden your body doesn't move as quick as your brain is, and you see a foot dragged every once in a while. And we've seen some of those go, and you wonder if Coach Biermann's kind of pulled the officials aside and said, hey, look at this with the Southeast Saline Trojans. And you're seeing more and more of those travels called. You just got to set your feet. You got to make sure you jump stop, you understand where you're going before your body goes, and make sure that's not a problem. That's a travel right there. You saw the official want to call it, and the whistle was never blown.
Cure missed the first opportunity, also missed the second. 2 Cowgirls on the deck. Here comes Southeast back the other way. Maddie Harris sees they have numbers, and she's going to take the blocking foul on Jaxie Michek. Very aware play there by Maddie Harris. She saw 2 Goodland players laying underneath their own basket, took the run out, and just kind of heck or high water went to the basketball goal and just let her, whatever happens, and she ended up getting the foul.
Yeah, without a doubt, she knew she didn't have numbers, or she knew she had numbers and knew there wasn't an angle to the bucket, but you had a defensive player out of position. And again, that's now foul number 2 on Michek. And anytime you're getting fouls, I mean, it's a time you're getting to set inbounds plays and get your offense going.
Pearson has it in the corner, very calm. She was in trouble momentarily, but dribbles her way out of trouble and finds Schlesner. Schlesner with another 3. That went up high off the window, and it goes in. Carson Schlesner came up short on that shot, and that ball hit the top of the backboard where the white stripe is and somehow went into the cup. Now a transition 3 by Goodland. It's an air ball, and Southeast of Saline has an 11-point lead with the basketball. After the 3 from Schlesner, what an incredible shot.
That shot had no reason of going in the goal. Like you said, it was short. It just took a little bounce. It went up, hit every part of the backboard, and it goes in.
Looks like Jaxie Michek is bleeding here, so the official's going to have a stoppage in play. Bill Biermann, the Goodland coach, is going to sub her out and take care of that. It was on the left leg. Emma Lehman will check into this game. Southeast of Saline leads it by 11. 29.1 seconds left to go. I was a numbers guy, right? It makes sense where I'm at. I was horrible at geometry, but I still don't understand how that ball went in.
There's no way that ball should have gone in.
Here's Schlesner dribbling the ball, shaking off bodies. Pearson now has it. Now to Yanakopoulos. Maddie Harris. She lost her dribble, now gets it back. Boy, just chaos right now by this Goodland defense. And Brielle Patacik has it laying in her hands. Brielle on the bench. It's going to be out of bounds to southeast of Saline with 10 seconds left to play.
Yeah, and normally we see Southeast in that situation when they get to that last shot, which we know they want to right now, but I don't know how easily you can get into that set. With this
Schlesner might just go here. She might do a heat check.
Everywhere.
Clock down to 4. Bounce pass to Pearson. Pearson's going to have to shoot it, guarded by 2 6-footers, and she comes up empty. 35-24, another good quarter by southeast of Saline. They lead it by 11 as we go to the fourth. It's after the break. When we come back, we'll round this one out with the final quarter of play, and it's brought to you by Bennington State Bank.
When termites strike your home or business, you want to fight back with the best. Hassman Termite and Pest Control to the rescue. With over 57 years experience, they offer the best of options, including the new BASF High Precision Injection Treatment. Don't let termites get you down. With one phone call to Hassman's, they can put one in the win column for you. Call Hassman Termite and Pest Control today or visit HassmanTermite.com and follow them on Facebook.
The winter season may be here, but paintball fun is still waiting for you at Elite Sports. Elite Sports Paintball Complex, located 5 miles south of Salina, is open for special winter hours. Get the group together and visit Elite Sports on Saturdays and Sundays this winter from 11 until 4. Elite Sports features low-impact paintballs for the beginners or little ones, so everyone can have more fun. Visit them online at SalinaPaintballComplex.com. Elite Sports Paintball Complex, open and waiting for you this weekend.
This is Trojan Basketball on KINA.
Back in Hutchinson, Devin Haney, Tyler Smith, Big Sam producing and engineering, 35-24, southeast of Saline. Hears it from their crowd as they will step to the sideline right in front of us and inbound the basket to start the fourth quarter, leading 35-24. Carson Schlesner has been sensational in this game, and what do we expect out of her? She's the third leading scorer in southeast of Saline women's basketball history, and she leads the way. She's the only player in this game in double digits with 16.
She's just been extra special tonight. We've seen her special for 4 years here at Southeast Saline, but tonight, my goodness, she's carrying the Trojans.
I don't even know how to explain the action above the three-point line right now. It is complete chaos as Eleni Yanakopoulos unleashes a right-wing three. She doesn't shoot a lot of them, and that one curled around the inside of the rim all the way around the world and then fell out. Biermann now, she's in trouble. Avery Castleman along with her. It looked like Schlesner had a point of the steal, but again, Lindsey Cure with those long arms stuck him out and held Schlesner off. That'll be a foul on Carson Schlesner, her second.
Yeah, and Cure's an extremely tough matchup for anybody. It looks like right there, like you said, it was a handoff, and Carson couldn't get through it. It's now Cure's to the line for a one-and-one opportunity.
Lindsey Cure, a 1-and-1, as you said, the 7th team foul there on southeast of Saline. Cure in this game, 1 of 4 from the stripe. Front end, too strong, no good. Fight for the rebound. Pearson with a cowgirl, and they're going to say traveling. Pearson went to the deck, all knotted up that time with a Goodland cowgirl, Olivia Lehman. They spun around. Pearson went to the deck holding the basketball, and they said traveling on Pearson.
Which is a tough call. I mean, you don't just fall to the floor without some kind of contact. I'm not saying there was a foul there by any means, but I'm saying you don't just fall to the floor. A lot of feet right there. Now you're starting to see, you're seeing travels called on one side. We're not going to get to the officiating. They've done a great job all night. I will be quiet about that.
35-24. Biermann tried to loop it in, and it's going to be taken away. She was looking for Olivia Lehman, and Carson Schlesner comes and steals it. Schlesner now will face up forehead to forehead with Lindsey Cure at the top of this 1-3-1 zone. Schlesner dumps it off to the right-hand side to Harris. Harris in a trap, lost the basketball, out of bounds. And again, you have to stay out of those corners.
You do. I mean, there's absolutely target zones that you cannot go in. It's the four corners when you're back with the half court, and definitely the four corners in the baseline. You cannot go in there unless you're getting rid of the basketball immediately. You definitely can't dribble into those positions. You got to stay out of there because it's extremely dangerous against any 1-3-1, especially against the Cowgirls.
Lindsey Cure out of the game. Again, Tyler, big spot here in this game for Goodland because she sets this zone and makes it work. Schlesner into the paint. She'll dump it out now for Maddie Harris. Harris kicks that right leg a couple of times. Now she'll come all the way around, pass it to Getz, and a speeding Cowgirl from Goodland, Haley Biermann, comes out and deflects the ball. Goodland takes it away.
Yeah, Biermann is so good. We talked about it earlier in the first half. She understands the flow and where she's supposed to go, and she gets her hand on every single ball down there.
Biermann thought about a three, but gets there to shut her off defensively for the Trojans. Now she has it back. Reagan standing arm's length away. Inside instead, they go for the entry, and a power dribble turnaround by Emma Lehman comes up empty. Lehman was fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line for two. 8th team foul for Southeast of Saline with 6:17 left to go here in the fourth quarter. That foul for Southeast was on Mallory Pearson. It's her second. First free throw on the way, and it's good. Lehman has 5. Scored a bucket in the first and a bucket in the second. That free throw was her first points of the second half. Lindsey Cure back into the game. Carson Schlesner will take a break. Again, we've seen Carson's breaks very short, as well as Lindsey Cure's for Goodland. Second free throw on the way. Cuts it to a 9-point Southeast lead. 6 points now for Emma Lehman. 35-26. Here comes Maddie Harris. Right-hand side to Reagan. Gets, bobbles it, and then tried to pass it back to Harris, but it's going to be knocked out of bounds by Lindsey Cure.
And it seems, and we've talked about this 1-3-1 all day, but just simple things like passing and catching and those fundamental routine things become extremely difficult against this length.
Harris all the way into the backcourt this time. She'll find sophomore Brielle Patacik. Patacik uses a high screen from Mallory Pearson. Now bounces it into Maddie Harris. Harris works her way all the way to the Southeast bench. Now turns around, comes back. She'll play it back to Patacik. Brielle tried to go high post to Mallory Pearson, and Pearson did a really good job claiming at least half of that basketball and got it in a tie-up situation where it was a run-out break for Goodland. The arrow on the jump ball still belongs to Goodland, but Southeast now has a chance to sub and put Carson Schlesner back in the game.
Yeah, that was one of those passes that you kind of just throw. It's almost like when you see Mahomes throw a pick and he didn't see the linebacker, underneath. He thought he had the receiver. Brielle was in the same way, but gosh darn, you saw Mallory Pearson do a great job just getting her hand on the basketball, tying it up, and at least getting the arrow to Southeast Saline the next time there's a tie-up.
Goodland has the basketball back. Here's a three-pointer by Michek. Top of the circle, it hits the front of the rim and goes in. Jaxie Michek has hit her second three-pointer of the day. Now she has 8 points. She's the leading scorer in this game for Goodland, and she averages 7 per game on the season. There's Yanakopoulos faking a baseline three and a traveling violation called on the far side. Turnover number 10 here in the second half for Southeast.
And we have talked about how that defense has sped people up. I know Coach Smith is the first one to say her players travel when they do, but she was confused by that one. I mean, Elena's usually got the – Elena almost doesn't move fast enough for that travel in a very sincere and in a good way. I'm not saying she's a slow player by any means, but usually has that foot set.
She's methodical.
Thank you. My vocabulary wasn't there yet. Very methodical.
Ailey Biermann has it, left wing. Studies the three. Now it's going to go to Weeder, far side. She is way out there, off the front of the rim, no good. Reagan hits the deck, but the rebound claimed by Yanakopoulos. She'll play it off to Carson Schlesner. Schlesner attacks Cure now at the top of that zone. High post entry to Pearson. Now back over to Yanakopoulos in the corner. She's in a little bit of trouble. Now a timeout will be called by the Southeast of Saline bench. Shauna Smith wants a 30. She wants to talk about it. It's a 6-point lead for Southeast of Saline with 4:47 left to go here in the fourth quarter. We'll step away and come back after this. It's state basketball with Southeast of Saline here on KINA.
The Appliance Center. It's where you go to shop for washers, dryers, kitchen appliances, furniture, pellet grills, TVs, and so much more. If you are looking for a local, family-owned business, visit the Appliance Center. We're in the big red and white building on South Broadway in Salina. Come experience the Appliance Center difference.
To someone going through a difficult time, a text, a call, or a visit can mean so much. Reach out to the veterans in your life today. Let them know they're not alone. If you're a veteran in crisis or know one who is, visit veteranscrisisline.net for confidential support.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Hoops on KINA.
Steve Reedy with a lengthy conversation with one of the officials asking for clarification on the traveling violation and violations for Southeast of Saline. Then he relays that message to the players.
And how many officials are going to have that talk with an assistant coach? Props to Steve Reedy and props to the official for having that conversation.
I love how we call him an assistant coach still, too. I mean, it's like the guy's forgot more about basketball than what the rest of us will ever know. But he is in a great spot right now. How much is he enjoying this?
Oh, he's absolutely loving it. I mean, It's all he does. Watch the film. Great job, Schlesner, driving to the basket. 15 foul on Goodland.
They will collect team foul number 5. Hayden Blocklinger on the foul. That is her first. Oh, excuse me. They're going to call it on Olivia Lehman. That is her second. And the ball on the baseline for Southeast of Saline. We haven't seen Southeast of Saline get a ton of chances to inbound on the baseline here in this second half.
We haven't. When we saw a lot of success early on in the first half. I mean, we know that Shauna Smith and the Trojans love baseline inbounds plays. A lot of times they'll have a nifty little drop. They'll have something. They'll get a wide open shot from some spot. And against this defense, anytime you can get an open shot, you're going to take it.
Especially against teams that play man-to-man on a baseline inbounds. That's what Goodland's doing here. Maddie Harris goes to the rack on the left-hand side. Had to shoot it over a 6-footer, and it comes up empty. Goodland back the other way, 35-29. Michek barely crossed the timeline, picked her dribble up, and then she was hounded by Harris. Goodland now will swing it around. Biermann has it top of the circle. Michek to the right-hand side. She has been leading the way for Goodland here in this half. Biermann gets loose for 3. That one's no good. Rebound by Avery Castleman, who just came back in during the timeout. Halfway through the fourth quarter. Southeast still looking for their first points. Here's Eleni Yanakopoulos for 3. That's no good. Schlesner, and they're fighting for the rebound. Yanakopoulos entered the fray as well, but it was too late. Goodland already had custody of the basketball. Biermann on the right-hand side. Stops in front of her coach and her dad, Bill Biermann. Here's a three-pointer that's short by Goodland. Castleman with another rebound. Schlesner wants to run. They have 2-on-3 break, and now she's going to count numbers. Come back and play it left-hand side to Maddie Harris. Yanakopoulos in the corner. Big skip pass back the other way. Schlesner for 3. That one won't go. Goodland trying to get the rebound contained, and they do as it's tapped to Michek. Nice job on the rebound that time by Goodland's Emma Lehman. And now a stoppage in play. A full timeout called by Goodland. 3:14 left to go as time is trickling away. 35-29. Southeast leading Goodland. Back with more Southeast of Saline State basketball presented by the Bennington State Bank.
For nearly 40 years, Home Automotive Center has taken pride in taking care of the people of our community. And if you're interested in selling your car, we can help you with that too, with the Home Automotive Center buyback program. It's the easiest way to get the best price for your car. So when you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. Simply bring your car to either dealership in Abilene or Salina, and we'll get you taken care of, because that's what we do best. Get your best price with the Home Automotive Center buyback program in Abilene and Salina. You'll be glad you did.
Stardust Trophy in downtown Salina is your full-service headquarters for trophies and awards for club and sporting events. But did you know Stardust Trophies also makes employee name tags with your company logo? They engrave executive awards like desk clocks and pen desk sets. They imprint artwork and photos on t-shirts, coffee mugs, mouse pads, even personal calculators. Stardust Trophy carries clear sports ball holders on wood bases for treasured or autographed balls from footballs to golf balls. Go to Full Service Stardust Trophy, 121 South Santa Fe, downtown Salina.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline basketball on KINA.
Back in Hutchinson. Crunch time is here. 3:14 left to go. Southeast of Saline leads Goodland 35-29. This is a 4-5 seed matchup. Southeast the 5, Goodland the 4. These two teams have combined for just 5 losses throughout the entire basketball season. Biermann inside to Michek, wide open underneath.
Yeah, really nice. You tell that Coach Biermann drew that up. He got his guard. He got his point guard, Meacham, right there down low, and she had Maddie Harris on her. And it's just a good matchup for Goodland. Nice finish from Meacham.
Pearson on the jumper right-hand side. That's no good. Lindsey Cure on the rebound for Southeast of Saline. Or excuse me, for Goodland. They'll play it back to Haley Biermann. 2:40 left to go. 35-31. Southeast still looking for their first points here in this quarter. So far it's been all Goodland. 7-0 here in this quarter. Southeast had a great finish to the third quarter. Inside, here's Weeder. She's going to go up and score, and she is fouled, and she will have a chance at a 3-point play and to make this a 1-point game. Weeder's been quiet in this game. She averages almost 18 points per contest, but she has just 5 as she steps to the free throw line here. The third foul on Avery Castleman.
Well, look like Castleman had a really good position, but Weeder's just so crafty down there, was able to create the contact, create the foul, and she converts the 3-point play.
Alexa Weeder makes the free throw. Now a 1-point contest. Southeast of Saline needs a bucket. They're going to have a ball slapped out of bounds. Schlesner was looking right to Avery Castleman, and that ball smacked out by the Cowgirls. 2:18 left to go. Harris with it. She'll inbound it to Schlesner. Schlesner bounces all the way back out to the center court stripe. Lindsey Cure there with her. Schlesner with a no-look pass to Pearson. Now she gets it back, and a blocking foul will be called against Jaxie Michek. 6th team foul for Goodland. 3rd personal foul for Jaxie Michek.
And again, a good job, Carson, just identifying the defender was out of position right there, and she attacked Michek. And that's huge. I mean, the next foul will send Southeast Sling to a 1-on-1 situation.
Maddie Harris inbounds it here to Reagan Getz. Getz has it taken away. Lindsey Cure, those long arms, just won that battle, and now Maddie Harris comes from behind. Got the basketball out of there, but she had to go off her foot and out of bounds. It will stay with Goodland. Under 2 minutes left to go. 1:59 left to play. Yanakopoulos in for Getz.
And it's one of those situations right now, like you want Getz's firepower, you want that in there, but you also need that ball security. And that's what Elena gives you, as opposed to what Reagan gives you. I mean, you know, Reagan could go off and she can score from every spot on the court, but right now you need somebody that's going to collect the basketball, secure it, and get into the offense.
Weeder tried to post up after she got the inbounds. Instead, they'll work it around, and a shot that is up, no good. Backside rebound by Lindsey Cure is no good, and Mallory Pearson will clean it up for Southeast. See if the Lady Trojans can get a bucket here. It's a lob pass and a big screen by Lainey Yanakopoulos on the far side, and they're going to call a foul on Weeder. It'll end up in a 1-and-1 opportunity for Mallory Pearson. Alexa Weeder just ran right through Mallory Pearson that time, and for Weeder, it's just her first personal foul. Oh, excuse me, it's Yanakopoulos at the free throw line.
And Devin, that's one of those just odd plays when the ball's kind of loose. It was kind of an errant pass, and it sends, you know, a couple of players just going at it as Yanakopoulos buries the first. And boy, did it work out for Southeast Saline. Not only does Weeder get the foul, but it's a 1-on-1 situation, and now you got Yanakopoulos on the line trying to convert for a second.
And a great play by Southeast of Saline. Basically what they were doing is they were screening a person open to collect a pass. So it was all away from the ball. Yanakopoulos at the free throw line, hits the first one, cannot get the second one, and it's rebounded by the Cowgirls. Olivia Lehman on the rebound. Now a ball on the floor. Pearson comes back to it, and they're going to call a foul on Pearson. Mallory Pearson went diving on the deck, and a foul on Pearson is going to result in free throws for Goodland. I was right in front of us. The official was on the other side. Probably had a little bit better look at it, but man. That'll send Haley Biermann to the free throw line for a double bonus 2 free throw opportunity.
And my only issue with that call, Devin, is we've seen players on the floor all night. It's just been one of those games where you let athletes be athletes. As you see Biermann hit the first, and that's just it's a hustle play. And again, we didn't have the angle. The official did, but gosh, it's been one of those games where normally we haven't seen that.
It went over to Yanakopoulos. The official did, looking at her right wrist. They asked about blood. She said no, showed it to him. And now Shauna Smith is asking for clarification. They're going to go ahead and attend to it as Brielle Patacik comes in.
The last time we saw Brielle come in a situation like this was at Beloit, and Brielle just went off for about 11 points in a 3-minute stretch. So let's see if we can dial that up again in the last 90 seconds of this game.
Biermann can tie it with the free throw, and she does. 8 points for Haley Biermann. Remember, she scored those 2 crucial 3-pointers that kept Goodland afloat in the second quarter. Those are her first points since then, and we are tied at 36. Southeast of Saline has the basketball. 1:25 left to go. The Goodland crowd getting into it. Brielle Patacik has it taken away. Lindsey Cure all the way down the floor. Left-handed layup, missed it. Rebound by Weeder, though, trailing for the Goodland Cowgirls. They will keep it. And she just changed pivot feet. I was going to say, if they didn't catch that, it was so far in between that it wasn't boom, boom, but she changed pivot feet, turned around, didn't find anybody, went back the other way, and changed again.
It was one of those plays where something looked so good that something had to be wrong, right? And the officials were right on top of it. I think we just wanted it called way sooner than they made the call.
71 seconds left to go. Southeast of Saline has the basketball in a tie game. The Lady Trojans have managed just 1 free throw here as far as scoring in the quarter, and they turn it over again. Here comes Goodland with it. Goodland, I know every coach's mentality changes, and it also depends on what kind of defense you're facing. In a tie game, how long do you want to play for the last shot? They go into Weeder, and she scores. They are not going to play for the last shot. and a timeout called by Goodland. They have their first lead since back in the second quarter when it was 17-15. They lead it now 38-36, and a 30-second timeout called by Goodland. We'll keep it right here. 46.5 seconds left. Now they're going to say full. We'll take a 30. Back with more. It's the last 46 seconds when we come back.
Winter travel can be treacherous if your tires are worn out. Stay safe with an inspection at Commercial Tire Company. Cold weather also drops the inflation in your tires. Get them checked today to avoid losing grip or damaging your tires. Commercial Tire will help keep you safe. For repairs that aren't tire-related, our automotive and diesel mechanics will fix it right the first time. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North Ninth, Saline.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
This is Trojan basketball on KINA.
Back for the final minute of regulation in this contest. 46-6 our score. Excuse me, 46.6. Our score is 38-36. A lot of sixes up there on the board. Southeast of Saline trailing by 2. The Lady Trojans will have the basketball. And a lot of empty possessions here lately, Tyler, for Southeast of Saline. They need to make sure they get off a good shot.
Yeah, Devin, and I think in an ideal world, you like to drop a play and you want to make sure you get the perfect situation. But against this 1-3-1, and we just see it attacking more and more, now it's just, you're looking to get the ball to the bucket as soon as possible. And whatever shot you can get, you're going to take it if you're Southeast Saline.
Reagan Getz is out there now for offensive purposes for Southeast of Saline. Maddie Harris with it. She has Lindsey Cure all over her. Pearson comes out to help. Now to Schlesner. Schlesner, a big skip pass to Castleman. Now Getz for 3. Can't get it to go. Rebound by Castleman. It's out to Maddie Harris for 3. Her three-pointer too strong. Getz trying to get the rebound, and it's going to be collected by Telexa Weeder, and a jump ball situation called. The arrow in favor of Southeast of Saline with 20 seconds left to play. And a 30-second timeout called by Southeast. Now they say full.
And what a fortunate call for Southeast right there. I thought Weeder did an excellent job of ripping that ball away.
The mentality of Southeast there, clearly they were going for a three-pointer. You had the ball, maybe a couple of chances to score in the paint. I understand your mentality, though. You've been dealing with 6 feet players on defense all game long. You kick it out to the open shooter. What do you think about that last exchange there that happened very quickly?
Well, yeah, and you look at the Castleman offensive rebound. She's within 10 feet there. And like you said, I think all of a sudden you're just feeling the flow of the entire game. You understand that most of the time when you turn around, it's not going to be open. It would have been there for Avery. She also saw she had an open player and kicked it out. But Devin, I think if you're right now, and I got this wrong against Hugoton, because it was the exact same situation against Hugoton. There's an inbounds play. Maddie Harris hit a little 10-footer to tie the game and to push it into overtime. I love going for the win in this situation. I know it's 20 seconds. I know you have to there's a lot of things you have to do against this 1-3-1. I mean, you're just looking to get a bucket. But we've seen a lot of success up inbounds plays from Southeast Saline. They're not in their 1-3-1 zone right now, and then that's what you want. You want to get them in the man-to-man situation, and they are with this inbounds play, and you'll take any bucket right now.
Goodland will play man-to-man on the inbounds. They have 17 fouls. If they foul Southeast of Saline, it's a 1-and-1. Lindsey Cure is all over Carson Schlesner. Now Avery Castleman has it. Back to Schlesner. 13 seconds left. Carson in the lane, draws the foul. Carson went to the cup as movement was going on all around her, and she will step to the free throw line with 2 free throws and a chance to tie.
And Coach Bill Biermann did a great job telling his Cowgirls right there, play extremely hard defense. If you foul them, so what? They're going to the line for a 1-to-1. And we saw them. I mean, every single time the ball was anywhere, there was a lot of hands, a lot of contact. Just a great job defensively from Goodland.
Schlesner's first free throw too strong, misses the mark. Yannikopoulos with Rapinoe on her right wrist will check in for Reagan Getz. 10 seconds left to go. Regardless what Schlesner does here, Southeast of Saline needs to play extremely intense defense and maybe even a foul. Carson's second free throw is good. It's a 1-point game. And now a timeout called by Southeast of Saline. So it's the opportunity you have when you don't take all your timeouts early in the game, right? Southeast still has a timeout remaining, as does Goodland, and a chance here for Southeast of Saline to talk about offense and defensive situations. Of course, they need a point, but first they have to get the ball back. And this is a Southeast of Saline team that we've seen them all year. They are pretty good when it comes down at a time to full court press and make things happen defensively.
Yeah, and that's something we haven't seen a lot of yet. I mean, there hasn't been that pressure. There hasn't been maybe the time to pressure. That there's one thing that Goodland can do that a lot of teams can is they can throw over some of that pressure. But right now you're going with the pressure. Your initial instinct as a defender is to go after any ball. So if you see a ball, any pass, you're trying to get your hands on it. And then if that pass is completed, that's when you're making the contact or making the foul. But anytime you're making a foul or making contact, you're trying to swipe the basketball away. There's none of those just push fouls. You're trying to rip that basketball away. We've seen whistles swallowed in this situation. You never know what's going to happen. Going after the basketball as hard as you can.
I know this is tricky because you have exceeded the limit in fouls. So if you foul a Goodland player, they get 2 free throws out of the deal. But is Lindsey Cure a target here? Because she has only made 1 free throw in this game. She's 1 of 5.
Yeah, I think she has to be, but I think right now you're looking to get the first possible foul you can. I mean, you want to extend this game and make it last as long as you can, and to do that, you have to foul the first person.
They're looking for the baseball pass to Cure. They turn it over. Avery Castleman has it. Shauna Smith screaming for a timeout, and she gets it with 7.1 seconds left. A steal by Castleman. And Southeast of Saline will have the last crack at this one. 7.1 seconds remaining. And a timeout called by Southeast of Saline. 3 seconds went off the clock, and it is 38-37. Southeast of Saline will inbound it just where the scorers table meets the Southeast of Saline bench. That is where Maddie Harris had it. Well, you would love to have the official, Tyler, hear that timeout call earlier in that contest or earlier in that series. I looked over at the bench right when Avery got the ball off the steal. Shauna was yelling for a timeout. If she got that timeout there, more than likely it would have been a baseline inbounds, and you get a chance again to run some of those great inbounds plays for offense. But it looks like now the official is going to give Southeast of Saline the ball in front of the scorers table where Maddie Harris was stalled out.
Yeah, this is an extremely tough place to inbound the ball and inbound the basketball, and now you have 0 timeouts left. And that's what you've got to be echoing out throughout that huddle right now. You have 0 timeouts, 0 timeouts, 0 timeouts. If you get in trouble, you've got to throw the ball near the bucket. I mean, if anything happens, you got to make sure. Well, it looks right there. Steve Reedy is confirming that there's 0 timeouts with Southeast Saline. Tricky place to inbounds the ball. Hey, this is a 4th and 5 situation. What are you going to dial up?
7.1 seconds left. No timeout. Southeast of Saline has the ball down by 1. Maddie Harris has it. Into Schlesner. Schlesner trying to turn the corner. She's going to leave it off for Getz. Back to Carson. Carson has to get rid of a defender. Now she gets inside and has the basketball stripped. Taken away by Goodland, and the Cowgirls are going to advance. Schlesner went to the rack on the baseline side on the right hand, and the ball squirted free. It was deflected away, I believe, by Jaxie Michek, and Goodland's going to win this game. 38-37. Southeast of Saline goes through the 4th quarter without scoring a field goal. They only get 2 free throws, and Goodland comes from behind to win it after being down by 11. Post-game is next. When we come back, final numbers for you after a 38-37 Goodland victory over Southeast of Saline. Post-game brought to you by Commercial Tire Centers.